Indian economic updates. The Indian Navy achieved a landmark in naval modernization with the dual commissioning of two advanced multi-mission stealth frigates, INS Udayagiri and INS Himgiri at the Eastern Naval Command in Visakhapatnam. It was the first time in Indian naval history that two frontline warships were commissioned simultaneously, each built by different shipyards, Mazago Dock Shipbuilders, Mumbai, for Udayagiri, and Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers, Kolkata, for Himgiri. Each frigate displaces around 6,700 tons, is about 5% larger than the previous Shivalik class, and incorporates enhanced stealth features, reduced radar signatures, advanced surveillance radars, and electronic warfare capabilities. Armed with provisions for more BrahMos supersonic missiles, medium-range surface-to-air missile, torpedo launchers, rapid-fire guns, close-in weapon system and a state-of-the-art integrated platform management system powered by a combined diesel or gas propulsion system, these vessels are optimized for anti-surface, anti-air, anti-submarine, sea control, and humanitarian missions. These frigates represent a tribute to India's naval legacy and self-reliance. INS Udayagiri is the 100th ship designed by the Navy's Warship Design Bureau, while INS Himgiri is the 101st. They feature over 75% indigenous content, with extensive contributions from 200+ MSMEs, generating thousands of jobs and reinforcing the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh hailed the ships as floating F-35s, underlining their technological prowess and autonomy from foreign dependence. With their induction, the frigates bolster the Eastern Fleet, enhancing India's maritime posture across the Indian Ocean region and signalling a new era in naval modernization. India is accelerating investments in world-class infrastructure, with a strong emphasis on roads and logistics, to achieve its ambitious target of becoming a $5 trillion economy and the world's third largest, Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari said. Gadkari highlighted that his ministry is leading large-scale infrastructure projects, including expressways, economic corridors, digital tolling systems, and sustainable transport solutions that are designed to boost connectivity, cut travel time, and lower logistics costs. These initiatives will generate significant economic benefits, from job creation and tourism growth to the expansion of real estate and industrial clusters along national highways. One of the key achievements cited by the minister was the steady decline in logistics costs, which have fallen from about 16% of GDP to nearly 10%. The government now aims to reduce this further to 9% by December, a move expected to make Indian goods more competitive globally. Improved expressways, multimodal logistics hubs, digital toll systems, and the adoption of alternative fuels are central to meeting this goal. Major projects such as the upcoming Nagpur-Vijayawada Expressway, which will connect central India to eastern ports, are poised to make Vidarbh a key logistics hub. Similarly, the nearly completed Raipur-Vizag corridor is expected to cut travel time and reduce costs for exporters. Gadkari also underscored the growing strength of India's automobile sector, which has expanded from 12 lakh rupees crore to 22 lakh rupees crore in recent years, ranking third globally after the US and China. He expressed confidence that with rapid advances in biofuels, electric vehicles, and flex-fuel technologies, India could emerge as the world leader in automobile manufacturing within 5 years. The sector, employing nearly 40 million people, is also among the top contributors to GST revenue and exports. Framing infrastructure and industrial growth as interconnected drivers of economic progress, Gadkari said these efforts will not only reduce costs and improve efficiency but also pave the way for sustainable mobility, helping power India's journey toward its $5 trillion economy aspiration. India's pursuit of a self-reliant, multi-domain air defense shield recently took a major leap forward. The Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, successfully conducted maiden flight trials of the Integrated Air Defense Weapon System, IADWS, codenamed Sudarshan Chakra, off the coast of Odisha, showcasing its ability to counter diverse aerial threats. This cutting-edge integrated air defense weapon system is built as a robust, multi-layered shield, fusing quick-reaction surface-to-air missiles for medium-range intercepts, very short-range air defense system missiles for close-in threats, and a high-power laser-based directed energy weapon for rapid neutralization of low-flying targets. For the first test, integrated air defense weapon systems simultaneously engaged 3 distinct targets: a pair of high-speed fixed-wing UAVs, simulating fighter jets, and a multicopter drone, at varied ranges and altitudes, successfully destroying them all. The system's performance was confirmed by data collected via range instruments, which verified flawless coordination across all components: detection, command and control, communication, radar, and weaponry. The entire operations were overseen by a centralized command and control center developed by DRDO. This hub seamlessly integrates the weapons and sensors, quick reaction surface-to-air missiles, very short-range air defense system, and laser-based directed energy weapon to deliver a unified and rapid response. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh lauded the achievement, praising DRDO, the armed forces, and industry collaborators for this proud domestic milestone. He highlighted that integrated air defense weapon system will significantly strengthen area defense for vital infrastructure. These successful tests are a key milestone in Mission Sudarshan Chakra, announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during this year's Independence Day speech. The mission envisages building an Iron Dome-style, nationwide defensive shield by 2035, using entirely indigenous technology. A central component of this mission, Project Kusha, focuses on developing long-range interceptors with capabilities extending beyond 400 kilometers. Trial runs of these systems are slated to begin as early as 2026, further augmenting India's layered defense infrastructure. In essence, India's maiden integrated air defense weapon system test represents not just a technological milestone but a key stride toward an integrated, indigenous air defense ecosystem to secure the nation for decades ahead. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav announced that the Integral Coach Factory in Chennai, in collaboration with BEML, is developing high-speed train sets with a design speed of 280 km per hour. Building on the success of Vande Bharat trains under the Make in India initiative, Indian Railways is moving forward with the complex task of manufacturing high-speed trains. Each train will cost approximately 28 crore rupees, excluding taxes. These trains will feature aerodynamic, airtight car bodies, advanced propulsion systems, weight optimization, and HVAC systems, along with chair cars offering modern amenities like sealed gangways, automatic doors, CCTV, and fire safety equipment. Meanwhile, the 508 km Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail project, supported by Japan, continues to achieve significant milestones, including pier construction and undersea tunnel development.